right, guys, we're back. It's another episode of the Fearless Pursuit of Freedom podcast. And today's guest is none other than my great friend Connor Steinbrook here. We're going to talk about how we went from single family flips, rentals, notes, owner finance, the whole deal, and why he put a lot of his attention and time into building a team across 22 states and 2 countries, all within 18 months, building a massive amount of rev share, passive cash flow. And I'm hoping to get those numbers out of him today. We'll see, but we'll see where it goes. So, Connor, appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on the show. What's going on?
Not much, man. Not much. Just trying to follow in your footsteps.
Hey, well, I'm here to help any way I can. I know you've been traveling around, doing a lot of good things, and you're down there helping the people down there. And where were you in Puerto Rico, or what was it?
Peru. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, cool, man. So our main discussion today is eXp, but because I'm still somewhat new in the investment worlds, and most of my listeners are listening in for the investment side, let's talk about the business that you built in the past 7-9 years. Is that what it is now?
Yeah. So it's just a quick rundown. Guys, if you want to see my story, go out and check out the videos on the internet. But I'll kind of blow through it. I started out my income streams with only earned income in an industry that paid me very, very well, and I traded time for checks for a long time, but that industry disappeared. And back in 2011, I learned the hardest lesson of my life. I didn't do anything that wealth creators do, which is what most real estate agents are doing, working for one income stream, earned income. I didn't have multiple streams of income. I didn't have passive income. So I decided I was going to go into real estate, fail miserably, went $65,000 in debt, taught myself internet marketing and social media marketing, built a business organically. I built the number 1 ranking websites for We Buy Houses Dallas, Sell My House Fast Dallas, ran a wholesaling company for years, got rid of that business, moved primarily into acquisitions, flipped a bunch of houses. We still flip houses, built a rental portfolio, realized it's cash flow. It's not passive. It's just a business. Moved a lot of those into notes, started creating notes, selling notes. And then, I built Investor Army, built that YouTube channel, which a lot of people know me for, and traveled around the country speaking, doing consulting, things like that. And then, I was attracted, obviously, after about 1.5 years of blowing eXp off, just like a lot of people do because they don't know what's going on. I finally was wrangled down by the number 1 guy in the company, saw the business model, said, oh my gosh, it's going to change the history of real estate. This is going to allow agents to actually create wealth and let them actually create income because they're doing what wealth creators do, not what earned income earners do. So I moved my license into eXp that maybe about 1.5 years ago. And it's been an amazing ride since then. Built a team in 22 states and 2 countries, changing my life. I think a lot of people are doing the same thing in this company, which is why it's going viral. And we're single fastest growing real estate company in North American history right now. And we're going to probably talk about why that is over the coming minutes.
Yeah. So you mentioned wealth several times there in your quick 5-minute speech. So how is wealth created?
Yeah. So guys, most people don't understand this, right? So there's only really 4 things that create wealth when you really look at it. It's multiple streams of income. You have to have multiple streams in case one stream dries up. So the easiest way to look at it is each income stream flowing to a river or lake of life, I call it. So your fish are swimming, you can feed yourself, feed your family. But if that river dries up and you only have one income stream, your life lake dries up, your fish die, you're in a very tough spot. You're probably going through bankruptcy. Now, if you have 7 rivers flow into that lake and 2 or 3 dry up, 3 or 4 others are filling up that lake, you're still fine. So multiple streams of income is the single most important thing for people that want to create wealth, because you will have a business struggle. You will have one disappear. Industries change. And the second part of wealth creation is equity. You need to have equity that builds up behind the scenes, equity in businesses, equity through stocks, equity through owning real estate. That's what creates generational wealth. Now, it creates time and money freedom, which is what everybody's in pursuit of, is passive income, true residual income, not like owning rental properties. That's a cash flow business model. It's not real residuals. So passive income gives you time and money, guys. If you're not working for something that pays you over and over, that you're not trading energy to get paid again, you're going to work forever. Active or earned income is the fastest path to never retire. And the 4th step for wealth creation is duplication. You have to have something that duplicates outside yourself. You can't be a solopreneur. You need to be a real entrepreneur. So most people can't create wealth with a pen. They're never going to write enough contracts to create the lifestyle that they want. For real estate, now for owning real estate, you never see anybody get wealthy owning one house. They get wealthy owning multiple houses. So duplication is the fundamental process by how wealth is created. Doing stuff outside oneself through leveraging other people's money, other people's time, other people's technology, etc. So that's why it's so important for people to understand what's going on with eXp. Is the traditional brokerage model has none of those four components that creates wealth in the life that we want. It's earned income, active income only. And if you don't have a contract on the house or you just closed the last listing that you had, you're unemployed until you get that next listing. So earned income and active income creates stress, anxiety, frustration. Passive income creates the ability to be confident that you know money's coming in next month. You don't have to worry about your bills. You don't have to worry about what's coming next. If you get sick, if you have to go take care of your parents, your grandchildren, your children, whatever it is, guys, time and money only comes from passive income.
Okay, so me and yourself, we're both real estate investors.
Correct.
And several people on my team are investors. Most of the people on your team are investors, and quite a few other teams that we know, they're all investors. Why is it that real estate investors who hold or may not even hold a license at the time are getting or taking their license and moving to eXp?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I mean, it's just kind of what we talked about. What most real estate agents realize is, they start making 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, and most of them flatten about between 100 and 150,000. The very successful ones, they can't push past that because they don't have enough time, energy, and resources. So most real estate agents' goal is to go from 20 houses to 25 houses, how to increase their earned income. And they realize it's very, very difficult to do. Eventually they hit a plateau. And so they know that they have to start an income stream outside themselves. And what most of them do is try to step up to the next stage of evolution in the real estate world, which is they go from agents to investors, because now they can work for equity and cash flow. And so they become, landlords, note investors, something that's going to traditionally give them the ability to leverage themselves outside themselves. So you see that over time, they eventually become investors. So investors work for equity and cash flow. What eXp is doing is they've eliminated the franchising process. They've eliminated corporate recruiters. We're going agent to agent, which is why they pay us so much. And they basically created an investor-minded entrepreneurial mindset at brokerage model that allows agents to come over and work for all three streams of income: equity, cash flow, and active. And that's why you're seeing these individuals that built real substantial businesses in the investing space, who understand time management, emotion management, risk management. They're able to transition over and they know how to build a business because they're not just coming from a traditional sales mentality. So I think that's why you're seeing a lot of these business owners move their business into eXp to hold their license there.
Yeah. So like I've been investing for 2 years. I've had my license for about three and a half now. So my goal is my thought process in the day was, I want to be an investor. How do I get there? It was me getting a license. And then I discovered big teams were making money off of the agents that they were bringing on their team and either providing or not providing leads. And that's how the brokerage model is. And so then I read the book, Gary Keller's book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And that the number one goal behind that book was building a team, getting paid off of their productivity. And I never wanted to really do that. I didn't want to have to go get the big leased office or even go buy an office like some of these bigger teams are doing. Why have all the overhead and headache when, and so I never went that route. I went straight to the investment world, and then eXp came along, and now I'm in 3 states, nowhere near compared to your 22 states, but and 2 countries now. Now you're in Canada. So I found it significantly easier and less headache than going that route and building the traditional team.
Absolutely. I mean, think about it. So I run a team of, hundreds of agents across all these states, almost half the states in the United States of America. I spend less time with the day-to-day headaches of the business than what a broker who owns, with a traditional brokerage model, has maybe 10 to 15 agents. And with a team over 10 times the size of ours, that wouldn't make sense. But what's going on, guys, is they created a bolt-on business model where we have over 400 paid employees that work for us at eXp. They're going to handle all the contract review, all the training, all the support. Pretty much anything and everything that broker used to do is now being handled by paid employees in the cloud or the brokers in the cloud. So it frees up their time to go back to expanding and growing their business instead of trying to maintain their business. It's a complete shift in the way brokerage is done. Plus, if you look at a traditional brokerage model, it's not scalable because the overhead, as well as if they're doing it through the franchising process, which most of our competitors are doing. Think about what you used to have to do. You used to have to buy a franchise, put up all this extra money to put yourself in a jail cell you can't get outside of. You're boxed into a region that you bought. Now you don't have to buy a franchise, and you can build a team in all 50 states and Canada, and we're going into the United Kingdom and Australia. So you have the choice to either spend a ton of money up front, put yourself in a contract that you can't get out of, and put yourself in a box, or build anywhere that you want with no overhead, no risk. And if if anything changes and you don't like being there, you're not stuck in this long contract and lease agreement and building agreement, that you have a mortgage on. So it's just completely shifted the way that business is done, allowing people to make a lot more money, a lot faster, with a lot less stress and a lot less overhead. And it's just the way of the future. And people are finding out. That's why we're the fastest growing company ever. People are now finding out.
And how many real estate licenses do you hold?
How many licenses do I hold?
Yeah. One, right? One.
I just have
one Texas license. Yeah, that's where I was going with that.
Yeah, so you can only get paid. So guys, you can build your team in multiple states, but you only get paid. You can only sell real estate in a state where you have a license to sell real estate, but you can run a team, and it's set up on a giant referral splitting program. So we're sharing in the revenue, guys. eXp is paying the agents for attracting agents to the company, and they're paying us a substantial amount of money as compared to what our competitors are doing, which is paying an upfront recruiting force. They're paying people on salary to go out there and build a company. We're avoiding that overhead, and we're giving it back to the agent to attract agents to the company. And that's why people are coming, is because they can get paid more for doing the same thing that they've always done.
Right. So you've done notes, you've done rentals, you've done mobile homes. Can you compare the eXp revenue share to owning, let's say, a rental portfolio?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just night and day different. So here's why I'm putting more of my time into building the revenue share model and not so much time into acquiring more assets. Now, we're still doing that, but the main focus is the scalability of it, as well as the time and risk and emotion management of it. Look at what you have to do to create maybe $300 a month through buying rentals. You're doing a traditional burst strategy, which all y'all talk about: buy, fix, refinance out, repeat, or I just call them a buy, fix, and refinance out. So you're going to have to market for these deals. You're going to have to spend probably $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 in marketing costs to find a house that you can buy at a discount. That's a junky little house. Close on it through an interest-only loan, whether it's hard money line, credit, private money lender. Now you own the property. Now the risk picks up. You have to fix the property up just to force depreciation up so you can finance your money out. Now you're dealing with contractors stealing from you, extorting from you. You're dealing with insurance companies. You're dealing with title companies and agents and all this headache. And then when you get to the back end, the lender never gives you what you wanted. You're leaving $10,000, $15,000 in the deal, even though you thought you were leaving nothing in. So you have cash out of pocket to create that on the front end. You have to have cash in reserves in case the vacancy loss repairs come up. So the cost to do this is very, very tough for most people to scale. You go through that entire process, you're putting $100,000+ in debt that weighs on your shoulders at night just to maybe create $300 to $400 a month cash flow. Now what I do is I just simply go to a real estate agent and show them the best business model, in my opinion, that's ever been created. And most of them are agreeing, which is why we're growing so quick. When they move their license over, I receive 3.5% of gross commission of their sales up to $2,800. So if they go and sell a $10,000 commission house, which is about $330,000 house, 333, 334, they're going to be on an 80-20 split. Now the 20% that goes to eXp, the company's going to pay me 3.5% of the original gross commission for inviting them to join the company, for helping grow the company. So that's $350. So an agent that's doing roughly a $10,000 commission house, you're going to make $350, which is the same cash flow you get. Now, here's the thing that houses don't do. Houses don't buy houses for you. They don't grow legs and walk down the street and go find other houses for you. These real estate agents want to change their life and create financial freedom for their family as well. They're struggling, getting beat up in their sales business. They want residual income just in case they get sick. And they're going to go out and attract agents as well. So I've attracted just under 50 people personally to the company, and those have gone out there and attracted hundreds of agents to my company inside my revenue share team that I get paid on, and I didn't personally attract them. So I see it as a way more scalable business with way less risk, with way less overhead, and it's a lot more fun because you're helping people and not just benefiting yourself selfishly. And so I tell this all the time. As a quarterback, I played sports, and entrepreneurship's lonely. You're out there just stacking houses, building your worth. It's only benefiting you. Now I'm able to pour into these families that, traditionally wouldn't have access to someone like myself, and share with them anything and everything I've learned on how I built my YouTube channel, how I built my investing business, how my investing business and my real estate business overlap. And I'm basically sharing any and every secret that I've ever learned in the real estate business to everybody that joins our team, because the more I help you guys succeed the way eXp is set up, the more I'm going to succeed. And they don't have to pay me for consulting. They don't have to go through this entire process of it. They're my partners now. And that's why I think I'm so attracted to this business model, is I get to work with a team, work with people, and I can actually help influence and change their lives. What I've learned over the years.
Yeah, well, you took my last question, or my next question from you is I used to charge a lot for high-end coaching and how that has benefited you and your agents within your team there, but you kind of took that away from me.
People ask us why are teams growing so much faster than other teams in the company? It's because you got leaders like yourself and mine that are sharing what people used to pay us tens of thousands of dollars to teach them. And now we just give it out for free to our agents on our team because we're partners now. So I want these families to win. I have 4 goals for them. The first goal is to get their first agent. That covers their cost of being in the company for a couple of years with their capping agent. Then my second goal is to help them find capping agents. If they find 6 agents, guys, we get paid $2,800 in revenue sharing for an agent that you sponsor at eXp if they sell about $2.66 million in real estate at 3% commission rate. So if you find 6 agents, that's 1 every 2 months. That's $16,800. If you divide that by 12, that's $1,400 a month. And that's pretty typical for what most people's mortgage or leases that they're living right now for their living costs. Most are between $1,300 and $1,600 a month. So in just a very short time, you can cover your costs to live through your house payment with a very small team here at eXp. Second step is to help those 6 go find 6 agents. So you have 6 on your second tier of compensation, which is $3,200. Right there, that's another $19,200 plus a $16,800. You've created a $36,000 residual passive true income that's coming in every month. Where most people are, if you look at national statistics, are making between $41,000 and $45,000 a year annually through their sales business. So people are coming to eXp and building passive income through our revenue share model, residual income streams, and they're overcoming their sales business literally less than a year. And that's what's finally this information starting to get out there, and enough big names have come into the company that people are starting to realize, what's actually happening. And so you're starting to see this viral movement, and exponential growth of the company is unbelievable.
Yeah. No, I mean, in the beginning, I was super slow to, take action on building my team as well. But now I get pretty excited on bringing people in and then giving them access to my Facebook group and my Google Drive file, and watching things grow. And I was looking through my Drive file. I need to put some more videos in here, but I've made a lot of trainings for how I did 700 free Facebook leads through conversion, because I used that to put in the groups, and I did a trading video on there. I have a lot of new agents, so I've done videos on how to proper way to comp, so that way we don't have agents out there doing bad comping. I did a video on Sky Slope, and then I've got all my investment stuff, so I show them how I buy and market to single-family investors. 50 motivated seller lead sources. I mean,
I know it's incredible what they're getting, to join, to partner with your team. And guys, like,
right,
you got to realize the team you join matters. And every single time this happens, it happens multiple times a month. Someone contacts me that says, I wish I would have gone with y'all's team. I signed up to my cousin or my brother or somebody in my market at my REI club. And it happened to an agent. We're not going to name their name, a well-known agent in our marketplace that I think you've even had on this podcast.
Yeah.
We had the same situation. They looked at our team. They said, I see the value. They went with another team. And what happened? A few months later, they contacted us back and said, man, I made the biggest mistake. I see what you guys are doing. Because we're providing live presentations pretty much every day of the week. We're doing mastermind trainings live in the morning. You guys can ask me anything and everything you want. We're doing trainings pretty much every single day of the week. We've created private video centers where you can understand how to build a team, how to do this correctly, because a lot of people can sell real estate. People are coming to eXp to create wealth through equity, through the stock awards, and through the revenue share. They're trying to build passive income. And just because you're a sales agent has nothing to do with can you build a team. That's what people don't understand. They're 2 separate businesses. Just because you can flip houses doesn't mean that you can go into owner financing right away. Just because you're buying mobile homes doesn't mean you can go into, do a different real estate strategy. They're different. They're 2 separate businesses. So we are training you guys to be elite entrepreneurs when it comes to building teams, because this is where the value is. And so it's a very tricky process to attract agents. We teach you how the conscious and unconscious mind works. We go through the full process in overcoming objections, how to find agents, how to talk to agents, how to explain the business model correctly that's going to excite people. Because why most people are not looking at eXp, Brandon, is because there's a lot of new individuals in our company that are going out there and they don't understand how to explain our company's model, and they're spamming people and bugging people, just like what happened to me for over a year. Why I didn't look more seriously at eXp was the people that were showing it to me had no idea how to explain it because they just joined the company. Yeah. And the other thing is we have a lot of competitors out there. They're terrified. We're winning, right? Let's be honest. You don't have lots of competitors talking bad about a certain other person or certain other company in any industry unless they're disrupting the industry. So we're taking the top talent from a lot of big companies out there, and they're getting frustrated. And that's what I didn't understand was when I did hear things, that were negative towards eXp. Then when I look back, I find out that person lost their best team that was underneath them. Well, of course, they're not going to say anything good. So it's a combination of fragmented information that people are getting. They're getting disinformation from competitors that are losing their top talent, and they're getting information from new agents in their company that can't explain the model. They need to sit down with someone who's doing what they want to do, which is create financial freedom in less than a year, and talk to someone like us that knows how to do it, and show them how to do it, and show them our plan to do this. Because right now, guys, you have a good window of time to be at the bottom floor of eXp. The stock price is still low. We can't tell you it's going to go up, down, diagonal, horizontal, but I have my opinion on it. A lot of people do as well. And then the revenue share model, if you want to build freedom as an agent through passive income on top of what you're doing as an investor, it's going to get tougher and tougher. As this company grows, that's more people in the company, more people talking to fewer people. So it's going to have a diminishing time return, or return on time and value. The more this company grows from 20 to 40 to 50, 60,000 people, that's more competition for you to build your team. So now's the time to strike, and now's the time to align with teams that know how to move quickly and are pushing on this and are training agents to do this quickly to have the best chance of success. That's my opinion.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's why I ultimately ended up joining. Same thing as you. I was being quote unquote attracted the wrong way in the beginning. I heard about eXp long before you did, and I straight ignored it for I don't even remember, well over a year. And then, on the cruise, that's when you started really explaining to me. And I'm like, oh boy, I should have been in this a year ago. And but then I even made an even bigger mistake. Is when I did join eXp, not only did I go about trying to recruit people and go about the business wrong, I thought that I'm not a good conversationalist, so I wasn't doing things the right way to begin with, and then I was, like you say, spamming them. But let's talk about the path of retirement and why it's so hard to achieve, and how. I mean, for us, we see the value because we're here already. We see the rev share, we see the stock grants, we see the multiple income opportunities with eXp. But how or why is the path to retirement so difficult?
Okay, right. Let me answer that after this real quick. So, guys, if you think you know what's going on with eXp and you're not at the company, I promise you there's a good chance you got misinformation, don't really know what's going on. That's a strong statement, but I can back that up. I truly believe. So in the beginning, I blamed a lot of people for approaching me incorrectly and putting a bad taste in my mouth. And I was actually upset looking back on how big an opportunity I missed, because it took me almost 15 months, I think it was, before I came in. But really, I'm the one to blame because I didn't have the business maturity to slow down and really look at this. When people are telling me this is the fastest growing company in real estate in North American history, I was just like, I'm busy. I got to go out to my houses. I got to do what I'm doing. I didn't slow down. So I should have taken more time to reach out to people that I knew what was going on, instead of listening to some people that I knew were brand new in the company. So that's the first thing I'd say. To go back to retirement, this is why people are coming to the company. They can shortcut their path to retirement from decades down to literally months if they choose to. So if you look at kind of like, what's a good example? I don't know, if you look at like top retirement planners, the individuals kind of like Dave Ramsey, Susie Orman, if you go look to retirement planning individuals, most of them are teaching to have, for the 9-to-5 earned income earner, people in corporate working for the corporate world, about $900,000 is needed to retire safely, is what they're saying. The last one I looked at was telling me they need about 4% distribution. So 4% on 900 grand is like $36,000 a year. You divide that by 12, you're looking at $3,000 a month. Now, these retirement planners are assuming that by this point, your house is paid off free and clear. So you're living off $3,000 a month with no mortgage or no house payment, which still is not a very good lifestyle, especially thinking decades down the road with inflation, where we're going to be. $3,000 a month is nothing. So how do you get to $3,000 or how do you get to the $900,000 as a real estate agent to be able to even retire like that? So if you're going to make $100,000 a year net, which very few do, I think only a few out of 100 do, you have to make $100,000 a year net. Your tax rate's about 28%, so you're going to have $72,000 left. Take $72,000 minus what most people's living costs are, probably about $4,000 a month by 12. That's $48,000 a year. 72 minus 48,000 leaves these agents, if they're making $100,000 net, about $24,000 a year in disposable income. Let's say that they have that discipline and business intelligence maturity to not touch any of that money and put it all towards their retirement. 900,000 divided by 24,000, I think, is like 37 and a half years or something like that. So I don't know about you guys. I don't want to work 37 and a half years having to perform, working 60 to 100 hours a week every single year and save every single dollar I've ever made and not spend it on a Coke or anything like that. So that's not a path that most people want to hear, but that's the reality of what the reason why most people don't shift past is because they never forecast out far enough in the future to see what they're working for. So guys, if you're only making 100, 150K a year through earned income, you will never retire the way you want to retire unless you start leveraging equity models and cash flow models. So to go back to why people are coming to eXp is our revenue share model is based off attracting agents to the company. Now you can run a traditional team, but this is just the bonus program that they pay us for attracting agents. If I attract Brandon to the company, he's a capping agent, meaning he pays the company $16,000. They're going to pay me $2,800 as a bonus for revenue sharing, saying thank you for helping grow this company. So if you take 6 by 2,800, that's 16,800. Now, if those 6 agents, as a combination between all 6 of them, attract 6 agents to the company, just 12 agents, you now have 6 capping agents on your second tier, which is 3,200 by 6, is 19,200, plus the 6 on your first tier, 16,800. If you do the combination of those, that's $36,000 a year in revenue sharing or residual income streams, or $3,000 a month. And people are doing this in 2 to 3 months as compared to 3 or 4 decades. And that's what's really happening, is they're shifting where the money's going. And people ask me all the time, how is eXp sustainable? How can they pay us so much more? How can they do all this? As you got to understand, eXp is the future of real estate. They've eliminated the franchising process. They've eliminated the brick and mortar process. They've eliminated the corporate recruiter process, and they've eliminated the real estate coach process. Think about thousands of buildings, how big of a headache and logistical and cost it is to get those coaches into all those buildings. We're now centrally located in the cloud. So if Brandon and I were at a corporate, one of these competitors of ours, we're not going to name names, but I say, Brandon, I'm going to hire you to be a corporate recruiter for my company. I break even at 25 agents a year. I need you to recruit 30 to do what we're going to do. And you go out there and attract 7, and I paid you $100,000 to attract 7. I'm firing you for sure the next year. And I didn't accomplish what I wanted. I took a huge risk up front because I paid salary up front to build my business instead of paying the people in my company to grow it for performance and success. So what companies like Amazon are doing through affiliate marketing, and all these big companies all in other industries are, they're limiting the upfront growth of the company from paying people on salary, and they're rewarding people with substantial amounts of money, dangling a huge carrot in front of them. Like our revenue share model, they say, if you come to eXp, we're growing it to agent. If you want to spend your time, your energy, and your resources with no salary, no compensation, but if you do attract an agent to the company and they start selling real estate, we're going to pay you a substantial amount of money out of that revenue share, and it's going to be well worth it. And people are building these massive incomes because the money's not going to a corporate recruiter base, it's going to the agents of the company, and it's just a lot better way to run a business. And you're going to see more companies and more industries run these elimination of the salaried employee up front and paying the people within the company or organization a lot of money inside that company to grow it on their own time. That makes sense.
No, right. I mean, I can't even name off of the top of my head on a couple of my hands how many companies do the same thing. I mean, YouTube does it, Amazon does it, Walmart does it. Just about any company that has an online presence has some sort of affiliate marketing. And I know people, including yourself, who have done affiliate marketing. I know others just through my browsing YouTube that make millions a year off affiliate marketing for these companies. So it's no different.
Well, what it does is it creates an entrepreneurial mindset in the company, and it lets people swing for the fences. It lets them say, here's my flag, I'm going to slam it in the ground, I'm going to get what's mine, and I can go. They reward people who work hard and punish people who don't work. And that's the best way business should be run, to be honest. They take people who say, I want to work hard and change my family's life. I want to give the best life to the family that I can. And so look at Amazon. So guys, for affiliate marketing, what we're talking about is if you go on the internet, guys, and you have an Amazon link that pops up on your Facebook and you click it and you buy a television, you're not paying Amazon Salesforce to do that. That was a person just like Brandon, just like me, just like you, who on their time, not getting paid to do so, they put that link out there, but you found it and bought through it. And when you bought through it, they're going to receive an affiliate sale commission or part of the sales. They're going to get paid to do it. They're not getting paid to work up front, but they're getting paid a lot to be successful. And so people that figure out this through affiliate sales or referral splitting programs or profit sharing business models, you have a huge upside. Your income has the potential to hit a high level that you couldn't do traditionally normally if you were getting paid as a corporate recruiter. Let's say for this same example, let's say Brandon went to eXp and he was going to get paid by this other competitor of ours $100,000 for 30 agents. We'll say he comes to eXp and he's like, I'm going to attract way more than 30, and he goes out there and attracts 60, and those 60 attract 300. He's now getting paid on 360 agents, and he's getting paid revenue sharing. And if you go do the numbers at our company, that's way more than what he get paid as a six-figure. So he has the ability to increase his income, and the company has the ability to decrease the risk to grow the company on the front side. And you're seeing faster growth with less risk for the company. You're seeing way more opportunity for the people within inside the company. And you're going to see this trend continue as more technology and more social media and more cloud-based models pop up. You're going to see pretty much, in my opinion, most companies run to an anti-Salesforce, anti-salary type of model on the front end and paying people more on the back end.
Right. So we've talked a little bit about the franchising. Let's talk about flat fee shops. When I first got my license, I was like, man, I'm going to go over there because you only get charged $475 a transaction.
Right.
Because I was only selling 4 or 5 houses a year. I'm saving thousands of dollars. I'm freaking genius. But then as I got more and more investments, I was like, how is that company surviving? But either way, let's talk about flat fee shops and how not only our splits, our caps, and our icon programs blow that out of the water.
Right. So a lot of people are like, well, I make 100%. First off, you don't make 100% because you have to pay transactional fees. So if you're at a flat fee shop where you're paying $500 per transaction, you're doing a 5K commission, that's really 90-10. So you're not really 100%, first of all. But the reason why people are coming to eXp is because we're earning dramatically more than 100%. We're not working for commission only. We're working for 3 income streams: equity, cash flow, and commission. You're seeing people make thousands of percent, not just 100%. Now, the problem with the flat fee shop model is, for one, very few of them are even turning a profit right now. And when the market turns, a lot of them are probably going to go out of business. I've talked to a lot of these broker owners. And for the agents at this company, guys, and I hope you can kind of step outside yourself here. And if you're at one of these companies, I'm really trying to say this to help you understand where you're holding your license has no real long-term benefit for yourself. And so what most people that do to go to flat fee shop is this, because they're fearful that their business is not where it needs to be. And they, just like an orange, they're saying on an unconscious or subconscious level, I only plan to sell so many houses this year. I'm only going to achieve so much success that I need to make sure I squeeze every drop out of the orange I get. They're not thinking abundance. They're not thinking growth and building something. They're thinking, how do I keep every little drop of what I keep here today? The other thing is, you're going to be selling houses forever at a flat fee shop. Remember what we talked about with wealth creation. Does a flat fee shop have multiple streams of income? They don't. They have one earned income stream. Does it have equity component to it? No, it doesn't. Does it have a passive income component to it? No, it doesn't. Does it have duplication to it? It doesn't. So if you want to be a serious entrepreneur and you want to build a real career for yourself over the coming years, you need to build something that grows over time, not something that resets every single month. You're unemployed until your next contract. And so the flat fee shop is a good model for certain people that only want to do 1 or 2, 3 transactions a year. But if you're serious about your business and you want to go full time and you want to grow something that you can retire from someday, or something that gives you time and money freedom, there's no path for that through the flat fee shop. There is no wealth creation component to that business model. Now, it's great for the person that owns a flat fee shop because they're introducing duplication to the people in the company. They're introducing multiple streams of income, and they're building up equity in their own business. So for owning a flat fee shop, these individuals are acting like wealth creators. But for an agent inside a flat fee shop, it's very frustrating for them a lot of times, because they spend 5, 7, 10 years down the road, and they're like, I haven't reached any closer to the goals I was reaching for, and they don't know what to do. And and I hope you can listen to what I just said and avoid you the next 10 years of your life for you to figure this out on your own, because that's a long time to wait.
Right. Yeah. And back to my statement where I said, well, how do these companies survive off of $450 per transaction? Is they recruit. But what happens when the market does a little shift or correction, and instead of selling 30 houses a month out of this shop, now they're only selling 12, how they're going to keep on paying those leases. And that's why the big guys in town right now are buying other brokerages and buying other flat fee shops so they can accumulate more agents, so they can try to withstand the storm that's coming if they can.
Well, and also what you're going to start seeing, Brandon, is they're going to start firing people. They're going to start creating production limits at the bottom side, because if they're giving any extra tools and support where they have any extra costs from just letting them hold their license, I guarantee you they're either losing money or breaking even or about to start losing money. When we see this market turn and days on market up, price reductions, building permits are reducing, lots of things are going to slow this market down. And a lot of these companies, if they're not doing it now, are already going to start doing it. You're going to start to see them say, okay, we're going to start eliminating the bottom 5 to 10% of producers. And when you start seeing that happen, you're at a company that has no longevity, and you better start thinking about your future and your family, because if they're firing people, guys, you have a business model that is not sustainable. You have a business model that's based off very thin margins. And the second the market turns, you better start looking for another place to hold your license, because that company's gone. And I don't think a lot of people think high level of what's actually gone. They see that and they see people getting let go from the company, say, hey, I got into business so that I didn't have to worry about getting fired. That's what happens in the corporate world. But if you're getting fired, there's overhead issues and there's income issues at that company, and they can't stay profitable letting everybody stay there. So they're making people leave the company.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we both know at least a dozen in the past couple of years that have gone belly up for not only management issues, but cash flowing issues. Either they bought too fancy of an office, too high of a rent, or whatever. But it's a tough business to run. Not only the flat fee, but running a brokerage in itself.
Well, I mean, let's look at this here, because a lot of people are going to say, well, they're just talking on opinion. Let's look at real factual data so that we can take this argument off the plate. Let's say you're running a boutique brokerage. First of all, how many of you guys know a boutique brokerage that's a flat fee shop model that actually gets past 50 agents? Very few of them do. Let's say you have 50 agents, and let's use very, very conservative numbers for them. Let's say 50 agents each sell 10 houses a year, all 50. There's probably not a company in North America that have 50 agents at their company and all 50 are selling 10 houses.
No.
Let's say they did. That's 500. Let's say they're using, what is that? Let's see the calculations here. Let's say they have 500 houses. Let's say they're a $250 flat fee shop. So 500 by 250, when those houses close, those 50 people sell 10 houses, 500 houses by 250, you're looking at $125,000 in revenue. That's not profit, that's revenue. Most of these people have offices and overhead and costs. And the only thing that a flat fee shop owner can do that's different than the flat fee shop owner across the street that's saying, here, I'm going to let you sell your houses for $250 and give you nothing else on top, is offer leads. And a lead is not free. And I know for you guys, do you think it's cheap? Do you think you can get a lead that you can monetize consistently for 500 transactions at $250 a transaction? I'd say $500 minimum, if not $1,000. So let's say 500 deals that you're giving out to these agents to attract them to your business. You're spending $500 per marketing for $500 per deal that you're going to get 500 back. You're already losing $250,000, which is you're losing $1 for every dollar you're spent. It's impossible for these companies to make it long term. And if any of them want to hop on this podcast and debate me on here right time, these families are putting their career at risk staying at a company like this. And that's my strong opinion on it. I think the business model is a great business model for supplemental income streams for people that are not full-time agents that are going to sell 2 to 3 houses a year, and they need to keep all the income they can out of it.
Yeah.
Guys, if you want to build a real business, go to eXp or go to some other company out there that has the ability to build a secondary income stream, to build something outside of just your commissions, something that can help you actually have a path to exit the business someday. Because if you're working for earned income, you're going to work for earned income to the day you die. That's right. For sure.
Yeah, and back to that marketing is I would say most agents fail within their first year or so because marketing is super expensive. So it just goes back to, if that broker's providing leads, at what cost, especially at a flat fee shop. I mean, it's incredibly expensive.
Well, I mean, I've talked to a ton of these companies, not a ton, but I've probably talked to 30 broker owners that run flat fee shops. Just about all of them are about to go out of business. They're all feeling the pinch. They're all stressed out. They don't know what to do because the model worked great while the market was going up and people are selling a lot of houses. But think about, guys, what's going to happen. Think about how hot the market's been for the past 5 years. Anybody could sell a house in today's market. When the market turns, it's tough. Let's say they're turning a 10% profit margin. And we know what happened during the last recession. It's going to be a lot more than a 10% shift. They're instantly negative.
Mm-hmm.
So all this, people getting excited that they get to keep more of their commission, it's going to go away, or they're going to stay there, or they're going to, at least the big ones. Now, the small ones will always be around, in my opinion. Guys, we're speaking on opinion here, obviously. We don't know their actual numbers on these, but, you can quickly see, you can calculate them on your own. And that's before their lease and before their mortgage if they own a building. And it's just, I don't see how a single one of them is going to make it through the recession, just to be honest, any of these flat fee shops.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Man, I asked you all the questions I was going to ask you. And, I've been on enough of the calls that I feel like we've covered, at least 90% of the conversations that I've heard. So.
That's for something else. Podcast is over.
All right, so we've spent the last 30 or some odd minutes talking about generational wealth, passive income, retirement. Let's bring in your YouTube channel and how you've used your image, your brand to create an audience for that, and how that correlates with your retirement plan and goals?
Yeah, I mean, so guys, if you're not on video, you're going to have a very tough time performing in the business atmosphere in any industry going forward. Video is the way to scale a business quickly, the lowest cost with the fastest reach out there. And it's an asset that you're going to build up. Your YouTube channel, as you build that following, the more people you can reach out and touch, the more business opportunities you're going to have in lots of different ways. I'll give you a couple ideas of things that we're doing, but kind of give you an idea of how I fell into YouTube. People want to know. I went 65 grand debt. Like, I struggled just like everybody does when they got in business, and I ran out of money. And I didn't know what I was going to do. At the time, I taught myself search engine optimization. I figured out how to crack the code to internet marketing. I built the #1 ranking websites in Dallas. And the way I did that was Google had just acquired YouTube, and I took private YouTube channels and I linked them to the backside of my websites, helping force the optimization up. So I learned the power of YouTube very early on. And the reason why is communication is broken down in 3 ways: the words you say, the way you deliver the message, the tonality, the tempo, and inflection of the voice, and then the body language and how you deliver it. And most people are still doing static email marketing with no video. They're doing Facebook and social media marketing with no video. Let's say Brandon posts a post. It's just a static banner ad that doesn't move. It's just going down the Facebook wall. And I'm in the same industry, same services I offer, and I post a video. They can see me, see my body language. They can hear the inflection of the voice. They can see the tempo and the delivery of it. So you're getting the full communication process through. If you can't look someone in the eye, you don't know if you can trust them. But most people are trying to do business over the phone through text and not on video, face to face, and they're just missing how the internet's changed the world. And then for YouTube, as far as what you can do with it, I mean, just our one channel, we're getting paid for consulting, getting paid for speaking at events. We're getting deals brought to us. We've built our eXp team across North America and multiple states. Partner with a lot of you guys. Shout out to all you guys on our team. We can sell courses. We can fill events. We can do business-to-business connections, helping other businesses connect each other. Let's say Brandon has a business that works well with my business, and someone came in between and connected to us. They're going to get paid very, very well for doing so. You get paid for advertising, YouTube AdSense. There's lots of different income streams that you can create off building an audience where you don't have to throw the burden on the audience. Like, I'm not forcing anything on these people that follow my channel anymore. We actually don't even sell courses. We don't even sell anything. There's nothing you can buy from us at the current moment. This is all free to you guys. I monetize it on the back end. There's just lots of different things you can do it once you control the audience. Plus, I like helping people. I don't measure my success anymore through how much money I bring in. I measure it through how many send me letters with teardrops on them saying, "Look, man, like, I came across your channel 18 months ago. I was about to quit the business. I saw your video about how tough your first deal was, and it made me realize everybody goes through this. I stuck it out, and now I'm financially free, or I was able to quit my job, or this or that." And so that's where a lot of it comes now, that I like to do. Just get back. It's part of the reason why I'm not selling anything anymore.
Yeah. Well, I'm nowhere near as efficient and credible online as you are. I guess I would say my YouTube is a baby channel. I'm a little more active than you are on Facebook, but I know building that image and using a little bit of video, which I need to ramp up anyways, but I know that even the small image and brand that I've built has brought me deals. It's actually brought me more deals this year than my 6 figures in marketing last year brought me within a 6-month time frame. So it's incredibly powerful, and I know that it's helped me build my eXp team as well, just like it has done yours.
Well, guys, everybody, just like people have fear of speaking on stage, and have fear of getting on camera too, but you should have a bigger fear of what your life's going to look like if you don't create a real business that's sustainable long term. And so it's no longer about what you know. You hear that saying, it's not about what you know, about who you know. That's true. Yeah. That's a huge part of it. And who you know has a huge impact on your future as far as where you're going. But not because the internet's connected the world. It's not about what you know or who you know. It's about who knows you. And so, for example, Donald Trump's president. Everybody knows Donald Trump. He doesn't know hardly any of us, right? So if people know you, you can walk into a room, or you can walk in the airport and get stopped for photos and autographs, or you land in any art real estate club across North America and you walk in there and people know who you are. Mm-hmm. You have a position of control and power. And when you're in the power position, you're in the position of driving traffic, driving energy, driving money, driving whatever circulates the economy towards you, which is building a better business for yourself and better lifestyle for yourself.
Right. Yeah, like, for example, I just went to a networking event with Adam Adams. He lives in Denver, but I went to a networking event here in Plano, and almost more people went to that little small networking event than most of the local guys trying to hold events. So the image is powerful, and that one marketing event's going to get him another apartment complex. So it's extremely powerful.
Wow! Shout out to Adam Adams. Guys,
Yeah, right.
see, I've been on there. It's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, he told me he was coming through there, and I was traveling, I think, that week when he was in here. Go check out Adams.
No, yeah.
Tell him I give him a shout out.
Well, I've been on his, and he's been on mine, and I know he's been on quite a few, and he runs his own podcast as well. But, well, man, I appreciate you coming on. As in all my podcasts, I ask everybody the same question, and so I might as well ask you the same one, even though we're buddies. If you had 6 months to live, what would you do with it?
6 months to live, what would I do with it? Oh, man. Like all these things start running through my head.
Right.
For one, I would travel to like my top 5 places for sure that I've always wanted to go. I'd knock out those bucket lists, and I'd just start knocking out bucket list stuff. I'd do things that I normally wouldn't do, that I was too big of a coward to do. I'd jump out of planes and who cares if you chop off 4 months of your life if you're going anyways, right? Yeah, right. So I would probably take a lot more risks. I would take huge risks. I'd probably, that's messed up that you have to say when your life's on the line, you're now starting to take even bigger risks, because taking risks is what creates success in the first place. Right. I mean, I'd probably just go do things that I probably wouldn't traditionally have the courage to do, that I feel like now I don't have a choice. And just kind of get out there and swing for the fences on whatever. Definitely travel. Definitely start to create some type of legacy that I can pass this down, structure my businesses in a way that they can be passed on to someone that can benefit them going forward. I give them to somebody, not you, Brandon, but I give.
Right. I'm about to say, hand it over.
I'll give you a little piece. What you can offer?
Yeah. Let me get some of that YouTube channel audience.
What are some of the other things people say on here that they've given?
Well, not many people I bring on are single and no kids. So most of them are like family, but primarily it's vacation and more time with family. But
well, that's a definite. In the vacation things, that's definite. Like where you bring people with you, your closest friends and family.
Right.
I'd have to go back. So like, man, it's a tough. So would I just like totally blow through all my money and leave nothing to anybody and just have the most fun you could ever possibly have in a short time? Or be like, hey, look, I can leave a legacy and leave this structure to really help people behind when I leave, which is probably what I'd lead to. I'd want to go spend it. But yeah, I'd probably just film a ton of videos and just be like, look, this is my only way to kind of leave what I've learned here, help people beyond the grave is probably what I'd do. I'd just put a lot of effort in creating a bunch of content and creating a bunch of things that I could leave for people after I left.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Right. Well, I mean, I've got 2 kids, and not that I have much of anything to leave to them right now, but let's say, 5-10 years from now, and I am living the lifestyle I want, and I've got, the money in the bank that I want, I'd probably blow through a substantial portion of it just because I don't want to leave them some huge, massive lump sum. And although I feel like I've raised them pretty well, I don't want to be in my grave looking up and they're burning through millions of dollars, living some atrocious lifestyle. So, I don't know. Maybe I'd set up some sort of trust platform where it, yeah.
You have to have a limitation for them to get to that money. Otherwise, they will go crazy. When people don't earn the money, this is why, like when you buy inherited properties, people sell them at a discount. Because let's say Brandon paid over 30 years of his life and built the equity up in the house through his hard work, his stress, his tears, blood, tears, as compared to inheriting that property from an ex-uncle or something.
Right.
He's going to fight to get full value if it's his property as compared to his uncle. He's like, sure, I'll take 80 and not 90, or sure, I'll take 70 and not 90. They're willing to, they didn't put the equity in. So when people don't earn the money, they don't respect the money or respect what you get there. But yeah, enough wealthy people as I know, you have to have some type of restriction, because you let those kids touch it, you're going to watch everything you built disappear. And if you really did a good enough job in your time here on earth to create generational wealth, you don't want one little bad apple, a little brat to go and
yeah. My little one, she might go spend it all in a couple of weeks. My youngest daughter, man, she's a hard one to wrangle.
You can burn through 10 million very, very quickly. Most people don't realize, like, when you're not.
We know several people that have done that.
Man, I bought several houses. I'm not going to name their names. From very well-known, successful Cowboys players. One of them had $20 million post-tax, a $7 million Frinkler house. Got into sports gambling, got into everything, and before you knew it, completely broke. Has nothing left. Unbelievable, because they don't have the skill sets on how to understand money. They had a quick talent in their life that allowed them to create a lot of money. But once that talent's no longer able to print money, just like a lot of you real estate agents, if you don't have residuals or you don't have equity through owning assets, and you get hit in a car wreck home, or you get diagnosed with a disease that's going to slow down your energy levels, if you can't trade energy for checks and trade time for checks, and you're not prepared for that, you're in a very tough spot. So everybody's got one bad day ahead of them coming forward. Bad health diagnosis, getting hit in a car wreck, it happens all the time. And it's happening even more now. You see business owners having to take care of their elderly parents. So costs increase, so they're having more costs out of pocket. Income's decreasing because they're having to take time out of their life to help their parents. Even more times being taken away because the stress and the emotion of having to take care of their parents creates depression for them. When people are in depression and not winning streak mode in business, they put even less time in their business. And so it's that $5,000 to $10,000 a month through rentals or notes or revenue sharing that really creates confidence that you don't have to worry about the unknown future event that's coming your direction. Every one of you right now, I'm telling you what we just talked about is coming your way, whether it happens month or next year or 2 years from now. You're going to have a day that you wake up that you're not going to want to have. And if you're not prepared for that day, you're going to be in a very bad spot.
Yeah. Actually, I'll make a book recommendation because that made me think of a guy. Have you heard of Matt Monero?
I recognize the name. I'm not sure which book, though.
He wrote the book, You Need More Money. And in that book, it talks about that exact same thing. It's not only the personal want and need to go buy the things you want at any time you want, but it's if your brother, your parents, your cousin, something goes wrong in the family or anything really, you always need more money than you think you need. And you want to be in a situation where you can provide that. Right. Because most people end up taking care of their parents as they grow older, which is pretty much known. But let's say my brother comes up with cancer and he's the breadwinner. Now, how is their family going to survive? So that's why I'm doing it. I mean, to be able to provide for anybody that I know that runs into those situations.
And I think that's probably pretty close to what a lot of people do as well. Like you see people that are not doing well in life, look at people who are doing well, and they think they're just these money chasing, selfish, greedy people that want all materialistic things. When most people, like I was out a day that caught me off guard, and they were like, when is enough, and what is your ultimate goal? And I think I told them that my goal was to, as soon as I have enough money coming in, that I can write a check for any friend, family member, or any person I care about, that I don't even have to worry about it. Let's say Brandon's my brother. He comes to me and he's like, my son, which would be my nephew, is going to die if I don't come up with $300,000 in the next week because insurance is screwing me over like they always do to everybody. They're not going to pay the claim. My boy's going to die. And I can say, hey, Brandon, look, no big deal. I've done well in life. Here's a check. Don't worry about it. Pay me back, move back. If not, I want my nephew here more than I want the money.
Right.
That is what a lot of wealthy people do well with their money. You've all heard the saying, money's an amplifier of the individual. You're a bad person, probably going to be a bad person with lots of money.
Right.
Good person, you're now the ones that impact the world and do the good things that people need. And not everybody with money, guys, is a bad person. In fact, most of the people with money are really good people. In fact, more people that have money I meet are better people on a percentage basis that don't, because the reason why they acquired that money is they learned how to build relationships and share and work with people where enough people want to work with them and like them and they have good relationships, that those relationships lead to the next relationship and the next relationship, which leads to the way that they create success in their life. So usually the people that are doing well have already learned how to control the way they work with people and networking. And it's just usually going to see the opposite of what people think about people that are successful. It's usually the complete opposite.
Right.
When they actually get to meet them and spend time with them.
Yeah, I mean, most people that have created a lifestyle and the wealth they wanted, they had a very specific why. And I would say more often than not, it wasn't extremely self-centered. It was because they wanted to provide for their family and, things like that. But
yep. I mean, the feeling that you get when you wake up in the morning when you have $10,000 or more coming in, through revenue share or through rentals or through notes or through YouTube AdSense or something, when you get most people's total cost to live their lifestyle, y'all probably see all stuff once you get about $70,000, $80,000 a year, that's the happiness break point. The reason why that is usually at that number is because if you look at what most people's cost to live their life with their mortgage, their car payment, their cable bills, phone bills, health insurance, everything, and their food is about $5,000 to $7,000 a month. So once you've covered all your required liabilities that you have every month, and that's overcome by residual income streams coming in, you don't need to make money unless you want to make money. So once you are financially free, where you don't have to worry about that, you decide how much money you want to make, or if you want to spend your life having the time the way you want to spend it. If you just want to, go be a fitness health expert or go travel the world or do whatever. And so a lot of people don't even get to really know themselves until they get to financial freedom, because once the pressure of having to produce an income disappears, you get to really focus on your other goals that most people neglect when they're growing. Once you see people get to financial freedom, now they're focused on their relationships, their health goals, their faith goals, other community goals, things like that. That's why, people say, you should donate money now, but if you're donating 10% off $1,000, $100 isn't going to help anybody. You're donating 10% off $1 million, you're going to help a lot of people. So guys, you can create wealth, make money, and then go help people. Don't slow your growth down in the beginning. That's just kind of how I see it. Get wealthy first, then help people. And enough people do that, we have a big impact in the world.
Yeah. I got enough people on my Facebook that are financially free or dang near it. And most of them are in the investment space. So as I see them every first of the month, rents due, I'm like, man, these guys are waking up with another $10,000 in the bank. And I got to go buy another house to get $10,000. And then now I know enough eXp agents that are earning well over that. And I'm like, man, I should have started sooner.
Half of my team above me, now I can't really talk about numbers, but half the team, out of the 7 people that I partner with above me, 5 of them can buy a legitimate single family rental in most markets every single month just with their revenue sharing. Hey, I got paid this month. I'm going to take this money. I'm going to go buy a free and clear house. Create my cash flow over here. Cash flow from here. Equity cash flow here. Cash flow from here. Equity cash flow from here. This is on top of their sales, on top of the equity they're building through stock deals. So yeah, guys, eXp changed my life, changed a lot of people's lives. It's going to change your life too if you use the model correctly. So as compared to probably what you're doing with your normal current company. So reach out to Brandon, sit down with us, at least take an hour, even if you think you know what's going on. Slow down to see if you actually know what's really going on, because I didn't. I had over 20 people try to approach me, and they did such a bad job that I said no to all 20 of them. I wouldn't even let them have the appointment with them trying to explain it in 10 to 15 minutes. And then the first person I sat down with that was a top industry leader in the company that knew what was going on, I said, I'm going to do this immediately. It wasn't even without hesitation. So the person that you talk to and the team that you join has a massive impact on where you're going to be and how you're going to see the information, because different people explain things differently.
Right. No, exactly. I mean, that we both had the exact same entry into the company, explained wrong, and then finally explained to us right.
And that's happening all across North America. You're seeing people like, that's not even the same company I looked at the first time.
Right.
Because somebody that just got their license yesterday that's never sold a house, this first brokerage they've ever been in, they're not going to be able to explain wealth creation, multiple streams of income. They're not going to be able to explain the revenue share model. They're going to go tell people, you should take a look at eXp. It's a really great company. It's cloud-based, and we have stocks and rev share. That they're not going to explain the path to retirement for agents that's non-existent through an earned income strategy. They're not going to explain that why this company is created for the agent, not the franchise owner. They're not going to explain why we're going to be sustainable through this recession while other companies are going to struggle. They just don't understand it. And so I urge you guys, if you haven't really had a real conversation with someone that knows, this is the time to sit down, because the company's going viral. We have a good window of time to really gain market share here.
Right. No, exactly. Well, man, I appreciate it. I've kept you long enough.
Have fun.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, I've kept you long enough. And I know about 8 months ago, I got reinvigorated to get back into it because I was so concentrated on investing. I neglected my retail business. But since jumping back into retail, I've gotten super excited, and I've taken on 3 listings in the past week, and getting excited all over again. Right.
when those houses sell, I get registered. Yeah. So guys, right now, just to be honest, you're better off if more people are making way more with commissions right now than the other active income side on the investor side, which is wholesaling. Wholesaling is destroyed out of the marketplace. I don't even think that's even a strategy that people should be doing right now, just to be honest. Because the appreciation, there's a lot of houses that are now in the 300K and up price points, those commissions are way bigger, and you're way easier to go out and find a listing or a buyer's agent, a buyer rep for a 300 to 500K house than you are to go find a wholesale deal right now. I don't even recommend focusing on wholesaling. People ask me all the time, how many do I do wholesaling anymore? I haven't done wholesaling in like 4 years. It's just not the strategy I want to do. Now, if the market turns, you're going to see a lot of people switch from flipping probably to more wholesaling type of houses. But right now, your best option is to focus on your sales business.
Right. Well, cool, man. Thanks for coming on. If anybody wants to reach out to you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, guys. If you want to talk about eXp, just reach out to Brandon. We'll sit down with you and we'll have a full conversation. We'll take you in the back office to show you all the extra tools and support that we're giving. I think that's a big part of the reason why our team's doing so well is the extra value we pour into these agents and extra tools of support. You can reach out to Brandon, or if you want to find me, my YouTube channel is called Investor Army. Be grateful for you to go over there, subscribe, like, share the videos around, and let me know if you do, and I'll be glad to do the same for you. Other than that, you can just find me on Facebook. Find me on social media if you can. I'm not doing my job well enough.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, cool, man. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Brandon. Appreciate you.